In the grand history of Greek tragedy, one name stands above all as its true pioneer: Aeschylus. Considered the father of tragedy, his work laid the very foundation upon which all later Greek dramatists would build. Without Aeschylus, the evolution of theater as we know it would have taken a very different course. His innovations transformed Greek drama from simple choral performances into fully realized theatrical experiences, shaping the art form for generations to come. But what exactly did he introduce? Why do his plays still resonate today? And how did his works survive the passage of time when so many others were lost? Welcome to It's Greek to Me. I'm Tanner, and in this episode, we'll explore the life and legacy of Aeschylus, the man who revolutionized tragedy and gave us some of the most powerful plays of the ancient world. Greek theater, as we know it, did not appear overnight. Before Aeschylus, dramatic performances consisted mainly of a single actor and a chorus, reciting or singing poetic narratives. But Aeschylus changed everything. He introduced a second actor, allowing for direct dialogue and dramatic tension between characters. This simple but profound innovation turned static performances into dynamic stories with real conflict. He also expanded the role of the chorus, integrating them more deeply into the narrative rather than keeping them as mere commentators. With these changes, tragedy evolved from mere storytelling into true drama, where fate, power, and the gods clashed before an audience. His influence on the structure of theater cannot be overstated. Aeschylus was born around 525 BCE in Eleusis, a small town near Athens, famous for its sacred mysteries honoring Demeter and Persephone. These religious rites centered on themes of life, death, and rebirth, concepts that would later permeate his plays. Aeschylus fought in the Persian Wars, including the legendary Battle of Marathon in 490 BCE. This experience shaped his worldview, and his only surviving historical tragedy, the Persians, is a rare glimpse into how the Greeks saw their enemies and their own triumphs. Aeschylus was a dominant force in the dramatic competitions at the city Dionysia festival. He reportedly won his first victory around 484 BCE and continued competing for decades, securing his place as one of the most celebrated playwrights of his time. Of the estimated 70 to 90 plays Aeschylus wrote, only 7 have survived in their entirety. These works remain some of the most influential in all of Western literature. His oldest surviving play, The Persians, 472 BCE, is unique because it's the only extant Greek tragedy based on historical events rather than mythology. It portrays the Persian court's reaction to their catastrophic defeat at the Battle of Salamis. Then there's Against Thebes, 467 BCE, a tale of war and family curses that directly ties into the tragic cycle of Oedipus and his doomed descendants. The Suppliants, 463 BCE, is one of the oldest known Greek tragedies and presents a powerful exploration of asylum, justice, and divine will. And then we come to Aeschylus' crowning achievement, the Oresteia, 458 BCE, the only complete Greek trilogy that survives today. This 3-part epic, Agamemnon, the Libation Bearers, and the Eumenides, tells the brutal story of revenge, justice, and the birth of trial by jury. The trilogy follows the house of Atreus, one of the most cursed families in Greek mythology. It begins with Agamemnon's murder upon his return from the Trojan War, follows his son Orestes' desperate revenge, and ends with the gods themselves defying the fate of human justice. It's one of the most significant works in all of literature, influencing everything from Shakespearean tragedy to modern legal philosophy. The final play attributed to Aeschylus, Prometheus Bound, may not have been written by Aeschylus at all, but if it was, it remains one of the most provocative works, challenging the authority of Zeus himself. Aeschylus's contributions went beyond just adding a second actor. His plays were grand, filled with larger-than-life themes of divine justice and human destiny. He was also known for elaborate staging and costumes, introducing theatrical spectacle that would influence later playwrights. His poetic style was dense, filled with rich metaphors and religious imagery, while later tragedians like Sophocles and Euripides would refine and challenge his approach. Aeschylus set the foundation that made their innovations possible. Even in his own time, he was revered. According to legend, after his death in 456 BCE, his epitaph didn't even mention his plays. It only spoke of his valor at Marathon. That's how much his military service meant to him. But today, we remember him as something greater. The father of tragedy, the architect of drama, and the first playwright whose works still move audiences 2,500 years later. Without Aeschylus, the Greek theater as we know it might never have existed. His innovations allowed storytelling to evolve, shaping not just the tragedies of his successors, but the entire history of Western drama. In the next episode, we'll explore the second great tragedian, Sophocles. How did he build on Aeschylus's foundation? And how did his plays change the course of theater forever? Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss it. Until next time, remember, fate may be written in the stars, but the gods alone do not decide our destiny.